Did you know that having fewer friends when you get older is more dangerous than being obese or smoking 15 cigarettes a day? Did you know that if you have a best friend at work, it can make you 7 times more engaged and productive? But regardless on the latest science on friendship, would it be nice to be surrounded by, colleagues and clients that you can call your friends? Wouldn't it be nice to have a network of friends that can help you when your career isn't going to plan? So luckily, all the tools you need to get people eager to help you can be found in this 80-year-old book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. So the principles in this book are as applicable today as they were when the book was published in 1936. They all center around 2 fundamental behaviors. Let me tell you about these 2 fundamental behaviors, with a few stories so it's easier to remember. In the 1800s, there was a poor immigrant
Dutch boy in America with not more than 6 years of schools in his life, but yet he made himself to one of the most successful magazine editor of his time. And how did he do that? At the age of 13, he saved up his money to buy a encyclopedia of American biographies. And then he did something that most people would never think of. He read the lives of these famous people, and then he wrote them letters to ask them more about their lives. So he wrote to General Grant, asking about a certain battle, and Grant then invited him to dinner. And so soon he was corresponding as a 13-year-old with one of the most influential people of the nation, and they would then introduce them to other people and other people and other people. And so he had enough people around him and all the access he needs to run a successful magazine. His mere interest in others brought him the friendship of the most important people of the nation. So the first fundamental strategy is to be genuinely interested in other people. Ask people questions, send them letters. The author Dale Carnegie says you can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people, rather than in 2 years that you can make other people interested in you. So show a genuine interest. And to spark a genuine interest in others, make it your mission to find out how people spend their time and what their passion is. And then make their subjects of interest your temporary passion. So be fascinated about what fascinates them. So say someone's into collecting stamps, do a little bit of research and find out that the most expensive stamp in the world is $9.5 million. If I've met someone with a stamp collection, I would ask them what the stamps were like during World War II, right? So you can ask people, where should I go if I wanted to start a collection? If you give them an opportunity to share their expertise, and they will associate their excitement and their passion with your presence. So being genuinely interested in others can also influence people to act in your favor. In the early 1900s, a man named Edwin Chalmers was looking for a favor of an American president of a big corporation. Chalmers was doing fundraising for his local Boy Scouts, and he wanted to send at least one of his Boy Scouts to attend a jamboree in Europe. So before he met up with this president to ask for this one boy to go there, he knew that he found out that the president was proud of this $1 million check that he had framed on his wall. So the first thing that he did when he met him was ask to see this check. He told the man he'd never seen this check before. He never know anyone that ever written a check for $1 million. And he wanted to tell all his boys that he had seen the check for $1 million. So the president gladly showed him and talked wildly about this check. And after talking to him about this check, then the president said, "What is it? Why you were here again?" And then he told him. And to his surprise, he not only gave the boy, for one boy to attend, he gave him enough money to send 5 boys plus himself for 7 weeks to Europe. In the book, Edward says, "I know that if I hadn't found out what he was interested in and got him warmed up first, he wouldn't have been 1/10 of easy to approach." So if you want to win friends and influence people, start by taking a genuine interest in others. So now let's talk about the second. Think of a person you recently received praise from. Praise at work, at the house, or a good deed that you did. What was your opinion of that person after you received the praise? So it can be a teacher or a boss who regularly praised you. And how does that boss or teacher compare to other teachers or bosses? Would you that's something we're not so good about in in Holland to praise someone, and it's so important. You know, in Canada and in the UK, people are a lot better at it, and America as well. So the important thing is that it's genuine, and so you have to give an actual. You have to become really interested in the person, so you can see what you're interested in. So give frequent praise, because it's just a muscle, right? And Dale Carnegie says, you know, people feel like they're committed a crime when they give their family, you know, 6 days without food, of course, but they would let them go, you know, 6 days or 6 weeks or sometimes 60 years without giving them hearty appreciation that they crave almost as much as they crave food. We're all starving for appreciation. That's why the great Charles Schwab would say, you know, if I like anything, I'm hardly in my appreciation and lavish in my praise. Like Schwab, be eager to praise others for their effort. When you notice a coworker putting in extra effort, walk over to them and praise them for it. If you see a child picking something up from the floor, praise them. To build your appreciation muscles, to make it a daily habit. So take 2 minutes to write out a email to a friend or a coworker and just praising them for any progress they recently made on one of their goals or projects, and make it as personal as possible. So if you choose to do this on Facebook, don't just like this, you know, someone's comment. I mean, obviously like this comment, but just send them a personal message. And Dale Carnegie tells a story of Pamela Dunham, a supervisor from Connecticut, who had a responsibility to supervising a janitor who was doing a really poor job. In the book, he says the other employees would just show him what a bad job he was doing. And it was so bad that productive time was being lost in the shop. One day he was doing a particularly good piece of work where he was cleaning something. And then in front of the other employees, she praised him for it. And pretty soon, he started doing all his work efficiently. Now he does an excellent job, and other people give him appreciation and recognition. So honest appreciation got results where, you know, criticism failed. So if you want to win friends and influence people, be genuinely interested in others and give others a frequent praise. Give people the joy of talking about their interests and appreciation, and soon you'll find yourself surrounded by, you know, a group of people who are eager to help you to succeed. So that was the core message I got from the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's sort of obvious why this book is still in print after 80 years. I highly recommend it to anyone who wants to, you know, improve their social skills, and it's as applicable now as it will be for our grandchildren. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.
So by you, instead of that you can, so is that ask people for advice.